ईश्वरं सा चिदानन्दरूपं लसत्कुण्डलं गोकुले भ्रजमानम्
चिदानन्दरूपं लसत्कुण्डलं गोकुले भ्रजमानम्
যশোদাভিয়নুখলাধাবমানम् পরমৃষ্টমাত্তাन् ততো দ্রুতগোপ্যা
যশোদাভিয়নুখলাধাবমানम् পরমৃষ্টমাত্তাन् ততো দ্রুতগোপ্যা
নমামি সারাং সা চিদানন্দরূপম লসৎকুণ্ডলম গোকুলে ভ্রজমানম রুদন্तं মুহুর্নেত্রম যুগ্মং মৃজন্तं করম ভুজ যুগ্মেন শাতঙ্ক নেত্রম
রুদন্तं মুহুর্নেত্রম যুগ্মং মৃজন্तं করম ভুজ যুগ্মেন শাতঙ্ক নেত্রম
মুহুঃশাসকং পত্রীরেখাঙ্ক কণ্ঠ স্থিতগ্রৈব দামোদরং ভক্তিবদ্ধম
মুহুঃশাসকং পত্রীরেখাঙ্ক কণ্ঠ স্থিতগ্রৈব দামোদরং ভক্তিবদ্ধম
নমামি সারাং সা চিদানন্দরূপম লসৎকুণ্ডলম গোকুলে ভ্রজমানম ইতি দৃক্ষলীলাভিরানন্দকুণ্ডে সঘোষং নিমজ্জন্তাম অক্ষাপয়ন্তাম
আনন্দকুণ্ডে সঘোষং নিমজ্জন্তাম অক্ষাপয়ন্তাম
তদীশিতজ্ঞেষু ভক্তৈর্জিতাত্তাং পুনঃ প্রেমতাস্তাং শতবৃত্তিবন্দে
তদীশিতজ্ঞেষু ভক্তৈর্জিতাত্তাং পুনঃ প্রেমতাস্তাং শতবৃত্তিবন্দে
নমামি সারাং সা চিদানন্দরূপম লসৎকুণ্ডলম গোকুলে ভ্রজমানম বরং দেবমোক্ষং না মোক্ষবধিং বা ন চান্নং গৃণেয়হং বরেষদপীহ ঈদন্তে বপুরনাথ গোপাল বালা সদা মে মনঃসাবিরাস্তাং কিমন্যৈ
ঈদন্তে বপুরনাথ গোপাল বালা সদা মে মনঃসাবিরাস্তাং কিমন্যৈ
নমামি সারাং সা চিদানন্দরূপম লসৎকুণ্ডলম গোকুলে ভ্রজমানম ঈদন্তে মুখম্বোঝাম অত্যন্ত নীলাই বৃতং কুন্তলাই স্নিগ্ধ রক্তৈশ্চ গোপ্যা
ঈদন্তে মুখম্বোঝাম অত্যন্ত নীলাই বৃতং কুন্তলাই স্নিগ্ধ রক্তৈশ্চ গোপ্যা
মুহুশ্চুম্বিতং বিম্ব রক্তাধরং মে মনুষ্যবিরাস্তামলম লক্ষ্য লাভৈ
মুহুশ্চুম্বিতং বিম্ব রক্তাধরং মে
Namami Saramsa Chidanandarupa Lasat Kundalam Gokule Bhajamana Namo Devo Damodaraya Ananta Vishnu Proshida Prabhu Dukha Jalabhimagna
Namo Devo Damodara Ananta Vishnu Prasida Prabhu Dukha Jalabhimana
Kripa Drishti Vrishati Dinam Vatanu Grihane Shamamaga Medhakshi Drisha
Vipavishti Vishati Dinam Bhatano Vihane Samamaka Medhakshi Disha
Namami Sharamsa Chidananda Rupa Lasat Kundalam Gokule Bhajamana Kuberatmajo Baddha Murtaiva Jadvat Tayamachito Bhakti Bhajo Krito Cha
Vyatmaja Vada Mutaiva Jatva Tayamchito Bhakti Bhajo Krito Cha
তথা প্রেম ভক্তি সকাম মে প্রযচ্ছ নমক্ষে গ্রহ মেস্তি দামোদরে
Tata Prema Bhakti Sharange Prajacha Namaste Brahmesti Damodarena
নমঃ সারাংসা চিদানন্দ রূপা লসৎ কুণ্ডলম গোকুলে ভজমানা नमस्तेस्तु दामने स्फुरदीप्तिधाम्ने तदीयोदरायथ विश्वस्य धाम्ने
Namaste Sudhamne Suradipti Dhamne Tadyadarayatha Vishwasadhamne
नमो राधिकाय तदीय प्रियाय नमो अनंत लीलाय देवाय तुभ्याम्
Namo Radhikaya Tadyapriyaya Namo Nandalilaya Devaya Tubham
नमामि शारांसा चिदानंद रूपा लसत्कुंडलं गोकुले भजमाना नमामि शारांसा चिदानंद रूपा लसत्कुंडलं गोकुले भजमाना नमामि शारांसा चिदानंद रूपा लसत्कुंडलं गोकुले भजमाना
Hare Krishna and welcome to all the devotees online. Thank you very much for your kind association and presence as we continue with Siksastakam, the wonderful instructions that emanated from the transcendental lotus mouth of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And just simply by associating with these transcendental verses, our chanting can automatically improve. Our attachment to the holy name can improve. Our japa can improve simply by associating with these verses. Let us to the Mangal Charan. Om Jnanatime Vandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swa Padantikam. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Tapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Bhagana Raghunatham Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvetam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakan Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gourangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyev cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Tinamine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesa Sunyavadi Pastatya Desatavine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo
Namo
Bhagavate
Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya
Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya Jai Nityananda Jai Dvaita Chandra Jai Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. All glories to Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Lord Sri Nityananda. All glories to Dvaita Charya, Advaita Chandra, and all glories to the devotees of Lord Gauranga. Anarpita Charim Chirat Karuna Yavartirna Kalo Samarpi Yutam Unattojvala Rasam Swabhaktim Shriyam Haripurata Sundara Dvidikadamba Sandipita Sadaridaya Kandare Spuratu Vasachinandana. May the Supreme Lord, who is known as the son of Srimati Sachidevi, be transcendently situated in the innermost chamber of your heart. Resplendent with the radiance of molten gold, he has appeared in the age of Kali by his causeless mercy to bestow what no incarnation has offered before. The most sublime and radiant mellow of devotional service, mellow of conjugal love. Radha Krishna Pranaya Vikritir Ladini Shakti Rasmad Ekatmanav Api Bhuvi Pura Dehabedam Gatoto Chaitanyakyam Prakatam Aduna Tadtyayam Chaikyam Aptam Radha Bhavaduit Suvalitam Nomi Krishna Swarupam. The loving affairs of Sri Radha and Krishna are transcendental manifestations of the Lord's internal giving pleasure potency. Although Radha and Krishna are one in their identity, previously they separated themselves. Now these two transcendental identities have again united in the form of Sri Krishna Chaitanya. I bow down to him who has manifested himself with the sentiment and complexion of Srimati Radharani, although he is Krishna himself. Hare Krishna and welcome again. Let us cover some feedback that anyone has from yesterday's session. Those of you that were here, please share what caught your attention, what you took home, what you remembered, what you found interesting. Please type that in the chat. And you're also most welcome to unmute yourself if you would like to chat. So please type in the chat anything specific that caught your attention yesterday on verse 3 of the Sri Siksastakam. Nalinikanta says, grass and trees, our Guru teaches us to be humble and tolerant. Yes. Two important gurus that were described yesterday, the trees and the grass. Madhachanistiti says, the holy name is our only protector. And especially as sadhakas, the holy name is more accessible than Krishna himself. Or we could say that Krishna's form as the holy name is more accessible to us than Krishna's form himself. Even the deity form. The deity is in the temple, but the holy name can be accessed anywhere. So therefore the holy name is easily accessible to everyone and is our supreme protector. Mukund says, every time I see grass or a tree, it reminds me of how tolerant they are and how much more we should be. Very nice. Yes. And that's really the reason why the Lord shares these instructions. Even in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna describes so many aspects of nature. And all these aspects of nature, they have Krishna's potency. So when we see these natural elements and it reminds us of Krishna, and that is Krishna consciousness. And naturally seeing the trees and grass reminds us not just about Krishna, but specifically the qualities we need to cultivate to become attached to the holy name, Kirtanya Sadahari. So they're really teaching some very, very important instructions. Maliga says, 3 C's, don't complain, don't criticize, chant Hare Krishna. Yes, today we're going to give you some more C's. Namavati Radhika says, Nam Prabhu is our best friend, greatest wealth, best protector, eternal companion, our eternal lover, our supreme bliss. One and only way to get Nam Prabhu is by his mercy. Yes. In the first verse, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu describes 7 gifts that are bestowed by the holy name. It is not by our sadhana that we can get these gifts. Just like a gift is not deserved, a gift is given automatically by someone, by a friend, a well-wisher. So the holy name will give us these gifts as and when the holy name is pleased. And the more the holy name becomes pleased by our attitude, by our sacrifice, by our practice of chanting, etc., then we will see that these gifts will be bestowed upon us. And because they are gifts, we are totally dependent on the holy name. As we mentioned, we don't have any capacity to get those gifts, but it's simply the mercy of the holy name. We are mercy cases. So therefore, we simply try to act in such a way that Krishna will bestow his mercy. Mukund says, nature always reminds us how selfless they are, like the sun. Yes. And we have to learn to be selfless. Thank you for everyone's feedback. Let us proceed. So, another question. Is this humility allowing anyone to trample on you, so you don't need to complain, and you shouldn't be complaining, you shouldn't be criticizing, you should just accept whatever comes your way? Is this humility? Nalini Kanta says no. Because we said humility means understanding one's shortcoming, and like the tree, tolerating, like the grass, getting trampled upon and not retaliating. The tree never takes revenge. So is this humility? It's like some of you are not sure. Okay, so that's good. We need to try to be thoughtful on these aspects. Otherwise, we may apply them in the wrong way. And this is why this, you could say, the session that, or the seminar that we're covering this week and next week, this is like level 1. And then you can have level 2 and level 3 and level 4, and it goes deeper and deeper. And we try to understand it more clearly. And sometimes we may have not understood a certain point in the previous session. Therefore, we recap and it fine tunes. In this way, we also associate and fine tune and keep contemplating to refine our understanding. So yes, just allowing anyone to trample on you is not humility. Why? Because humility means to understand, excuse me, to understand Krishna. Humility means to understand Krishna and understand one's position. Now, when you understand Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, then it means that everything belongs to Krishna, and even this body belongs to Krishna. Therefore, nobody should be abusing this body. Prabhupada gave the example, if somebody comes with a knife to stab you, you can't say, it's okay. I surrender, I'll accept this Krishna's mercy. No, this is Krishna's body. One of your duties is to protect this body in Krishna's service. So time, place, and circumstance, we can't imitate at the same time. We should at least understand that nobody really should be trampling over you, abusing you, exploiting you, and you just accept that thinking that I'm very humble. No, that is not humility. Okay. Humility also means that you act in such a way that your duty towards Krishna is not hampered, not hindered. So here are 9 more C's, or at least remember the 9 C's. So don't criticize, don't complain, don't be complacent, don't be casual, be compassionate, always chant the holy names and the glories of Krishna, see everything as Krishna's mercy, constant service to Hari, Guru and the Vaishnavas and the Jivas, and only consume Krishna Prasad. If we try to follow these C's, we can attract Krishna's mercy.
Cheto darpan marjanam bhav mahadavagni nirvapanam shreya kairava chandrika vitaranam vidyavadhu jivanam Anandam buddhivardhanam Pratipadam purnamritaswadanam Sarvatma snapanam param vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam.
Glory to Shri Krishna Sankirtan, which cleanses the heart of all dust accumulated for years and extinguishes the fire of conditional life of repeated birth and death. The Sankirtan movement is a prime benediction for humanity at large because its praise the rays of the benediction moon. It is the life of all transcendental knowledge. It increases the ocean of transcendental bliss and it enables us to fully taste the nectar for which we are always.
Namakari bahuta nija sarva shakti Tatrarpita niyamita smaranena kalaha Etadrishi tava kripa bhagavan mamapi Durdaiva mihajaninanuragaha.
O my Lord, your holy name alone can render all benedictions to the living being. And thus you have hundreds and millions of names like Krishna and Govinda. In these transcendental names, you invested all your transcendental energies. There are no hard and fast rules for chanting these names. O my Lord, out of kindness, you enable us to approach you by chanting your holy name. But I'm so unfortunate. I have no traction.
Trinaadapi sunichena tarorapi sahishnuna amanina manadena kirtaniya sada hari.
One should chant the holy name of the Lord in humble state of mind, thinking oneself lower in a straw in the street. One should be more tall than a tree, devoid of all sense of falsity, and should be ready to offer all respects to others. Such a state of mind one can chant the holy name of the Lord constantly.
न धनं न जनं न सुन्दरीं कवितां वा जगदीश कामये मम जन्मनि जन्मनीश्वरे भवतात् भक्ति अहेतुकी त्वयि.
Almighty Lord, I have no desire to accumulate wealth, nor do I desire to enjoy beautiful women, nor do I want any number of followers. I want your causeless devotional service in my life.
ऐनन्दतनुजा किङ्करम् पतितं मां विषमे भवाम्बुधो कृपया तव पादपङ्कज स्थितधूलिसदृशीं विचिन्तया.
O son of Marjananda Krishna, I am your eternal servitor. Yet somehow or other I have fallen into the ocean of birth and death. Please pick me up from this ocean of death and place me as one your lotus.
नयनं गलदश्रुधारया वदनं गद्गदहृदया गिरा पुलकैर्निचितं वपु कदा तव नाम ग्रहणे भविष्यति.
O my Lord, when my eyes be decorated with tears of love flowing constantly when I chant your holy name, when will my voice choke up and when the hairs of my body stand on end with the spirit of feeling?
युगायितं निमेषेण चक्षुषा प्रावृषायितम् शून्यायितं जगत्सर्वम् गोविन्द विरहेण मे.
O Govinda, feeling a separation, I'm considering moments feel like 12 years or more. Tears are flowing from my eyes like torrents of rain, and I'm feeling very hated.
आश्लिष्य वा पादरतां पिनष्टुमा अदर्शनान्महतां करोतु वा यथा तथा वा विदधातु लम्पटो मत्प्राणनाथस्तु स एव नापरः.
I know no one but Krishna as my Lord, and he shall remain so even if he handles me roughly by his embrace. Makes me broken-hearted by not being present. Completely free to do anything and everything. Always my worship unconditional. Siksastakam Verse. So today we're going to be covering text 4, how to rid oneself of deception and detrimental material desires. And this verse is also still focusing on sadhana bhakti, as well as Sambandha Gyan, our relationship with Krishna. And now, at this point in our practice, we should be at Ruchi, which means we've acquired strong faith, and the faith keeps strengthening as the stages progress. We're associating with the devotees, we're chanting the holy names, engaging in devotional service, serious about our devotional practice. as we engage in devotional practice, all our narrators have been eradicated. And now we've reached the climax, the steep hill, just over Narta Nivriti now. We are now coming down. So now it's downhill. And we can see the first aspect of this downhill journey to pure devotion is that we get intense taste for chanting, for the practice of devotional service. And because of this taste, we're also able to naturally avoid material entanglement, material sense objects. So what is the desire of the sadhaka? This verse specifically is focusing on the desire that we should have. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is giving us the perfect desire we should cultivate. Na dhanam na janam na sundarim kavitam vajagadeshe kamaya mama janmani janmanishware bhavatad bhaktir hoitukitvaye. Almighty Lord, I have no desire to accumulate wealth, nor do I desire to enjoy beautiful women. And this goes for men and women. Nor do I want any number of followers. I want you causeless devotional service in my life, birth after birth. Srila Prabhupada gives another translation. O Lord of the universe, I do not desire material wealth, materialistic followers, a beautiful wife, or fruit of activities described in flowery language. All I want, life after life, is unmotivated devotional service to you. So no wealth, no mundane wealth, no materialistic followers, no beautiful wife, family, children, etc. No fruit of activities, no sense gratification, only pure devotional service life after life. Then in another purport in the 6th canto, Prabhupada says, Oh Almighty Lord, I have no desire to accumulate wealth, nor do I desire beautiful women, nor do I want any number of followers. I only want to cause this devotional service in my life, birth after birth. A pure devotee never begs the Lord for material happiness in the shape of riches, followers, a good wife, or even mukti. The Lord promises, however, Yoga Shemam Vahamyaham, I voluntarily bring everything necessary for my service. So it's interesting, at least in the second except that we read, that we're not praying for all these things, but the Lord will provide whatever we require for our service. Krishna will make arrangements. Now, if we just look at Srila Prabhupada's life in relation to this 4th verse, na dhanam, na janam, sundaram. I don't want wealth, I don't want followers, I don't want these things. So if we just analyze Prabhupada's accumulated wealth, fame, followers, it looks like it's contradicting this verse. So I'm just going to go through a few slides to share Srila Prabhupada's achievements. And let's try to understand it in relation to this verse, because it apparently seems like a contradiction. Prabhupada needed so much money, at least when Prabhupada was present, to open up 108 temples. Now, Srila Prabhupada has 650 different centers across the globe, 110 Hare Krishna restaurants worldwide, 6,000 Krishna festivals are held every year, 3 billion meals have been served since 1966. 516 million books and magazines have been distributed. 65 palm eco villages globally. And those 650 temples, centers are practically in every country. Not just in one country, but in every country. then 95,000 initiates that are connected to Srila Prabhupada. 516 million books, we covered that. 1.2 million meals in the midday meal program. There's even so many world records that have been broken. Year's one that was early this year for the largest number of youth that attended mental wellness. 6,450 youth attended. Then a certificate for the maximum participation in an addiction awareness festival, which was for 12,000 people. And then individuals that are part of the movement achieving so much glory and fame. Vivek Bindra, he had on one session, 155,449 viewers at one time. So much glory, so much fame, and it's expanding. Here we find Harinam in Taiwan, Japan, Rath Yatra in China. So Prabhupada's, if you had to ask Prabhupada, do you want your glory to expand or you want Krishna's glory to expand more and more? Yes. You want more money? Yes. More followers? Yes. But Krishna is saying, na dhanam, na janam, na sundarim. I don't want these things. So is this a contradiction? Because we want more money, we want more followers. So please share in the chat. Is this a contradiction? That on one hand, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying, we don't want followers, we don't want money, we don't want beautiful women. And on the other hand, we find that the more money we have, from just if we evaluate the amount of wealth Prabhupada has, the amount of followers Prabhupada has, is astronomical and it's increasing. So apparently a contradiction. But it's not, as Nalinikanta says, no. Srila Prabhupada is not going to use it for his own self-aggrandizement. Not contradiction because we are doing it for the pleasure of Krishna, yes. And that's the key factor. That all the wealth, all the fame, all the followers is for Krishna's pleasure. And to illustrate this, Prabhupada gave a story or an analogy. There was like $100 bill on the ground. So one Karmi came. Karmi is a materialistic person, sense enjoyer. He saw the $100 bill, and what do you think he did? He picked it up and put it in his pocket. The yogi or the jnani, he came past. And when the jnani saw the $100 bill, he said, Maya doesn't belong to me. And he left. The devotee, he comes past and he sees the $100 bill. And what he does, he picks it up. And he doesn't put it in his pocket. He gives it to Krishna, puts it in a hundi box. So here we see three different people reciprocating or responding to a $100 bill in three different ways. The best way is understanding that that $100 bill actually belongs to Krishna. Lakshmi belongs to Krishna. And because Lakshmi belongs to Krishna, then we want to connect Lakshmi to Krishna. We want to engage Lakshmi in Krishna's service. We want to bring Lakshmi back to the lotus feet of Krishna, lotus feet of Narayan. Therefore, as devotees, as followers of Srila Prabhupada, our goal is to bring all the wealth, all the souls, all the living entities, everyone back to the service of Krishna. In this beautiful song by Siksastakam, 2 verses I'll share. Very wonderful. He sings when Prabhupada would often sing this song. By the time he would come to the second line, he would choke in ecstasy. He would not be able to continue because just meditating and contemplating on the mercy of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Srila Prabhupada would go into ecstasy. Parama karuna pohidui jana nitai gaura chandra sabavatara sarasiro mani kevala ananda kanda. Lord Nitai and Lord Gauranga, Lord Gaurachandra are very merciful. They are the essence of all incarnations. The specific significance of these incarnations is that they introduce a process of chanting and dancing that is simply joyful. Bhaja bhaja bhai Chaitanya Nitai Surida Vishwasa Kori Vishaya Chadiya Sera Samajiya Mukhe Bolo Hari Hari. My dear brothers, I request that you just worship Lord Chaitanya Nityananda with firm conviction and faith. If one wants to be Krishna conscious by this process, one has to give up his engagement in sense gratification. Become absorbed in worshipping Lord Chaitanya, Lord Nityananda, and simply chant Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, without any material motive. So, in the song, and I'm going to read the Prabhupada's purport also, we're getting a clue to understanding the 4th verse. That we do not want to engage in sense gratification of any type. And we do not want any material motive in serving Krishna and chanting Hare Krishna. Prabhupada writes, this is a song sung by Siksastakam. Pahu means Lord, and Duijana means two. Siksastakam declares that the two lords, Nitai, Gaurachandra, Lord Nitai and Lord Chaitanya, are very merciful, Parama Karuna. Saba Avatara Sarashiromani. Avatar means incarnations, and Saba means all. They are the essence of all incarnations. The specific significance of these incarnations is that prosecuting their way of self-realization is simply joyful, Kevala Ananda Kanda, for they introduce chanting and dancing. There are many incarnations, like Lord Ram and even Krishna, who taught Bhagavad Gita, which requires knowledge and understanding. But Lord Chaitanya Nityananda introduced a process that is simply joyful, simply chant and dance. Therefore, Lochan does request everyone, Bhajo Bhajo Bhai Chaitanya Nityananda. My dear brother, I request that you just worship Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda with firm conviction and faith. Don't think that this chanting and dancing will not lead to the desired goal. It will. It is the assurance of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that one will get all perfection by this process. Therefore, one must chant with firm faith and conviction, Vishwasapuri. But what is the process? The process is Vishaya Charya, Se Rasa Majya. If one wants to be Krishna conscious by this process, one has to give up his engagement in sense gratification. That is the only restriction. If one gives up sense gratification, it is sure that he will reach the desired goal. Mukhe bolo Hari Hari. One simply has to chant Hari, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, without any motive of sense gratification. So we can start chanting, and yes, the chanting can help us purify our hearts, and in this way we can give up sense gratification. But if we use our intelligence and understand the philosophy of Krishna consciousness, then we can even reduce or avoid sense gratification intentionally for the pleasure of Krishna, because this will be beneficial for our practice. And in this way, because Krishna will see that intention, then Krishna also reciprocates. So here, Srila Mahaprabhu is saying, I don't want any wealth, followers, fame, Women are only one to causeless devotional service, unmotivated devotional service, life after life. So on one hand, if we put devotional service on one scale, one side of the scale, chanting and glorification and service to Krishna, and then we put all the other things, money, women, fame, etc., on the other side, can you compare? And the answer is no. There is no comparison. In fact, if we compare even all the wealth and all the heavenly pleasures and all material sense gratification, still we cannot compare it to pure devotional service, unmotivated pure devotional service. Scripture says that if you actually compare, it's an offense, because one is spiritual and the other is material. Pure devotional service, unmotivated devotional service is completely spiritual, and you cannot compare spiritual processes or gifts to anything in this mundane world, because mundane world means temporary and it's a reflection. It has no substance. So therefore there is no comparison. So we simply need to change our desire. And Srila Mahaprabhu is telling us what should be our desire. Prabhupada shares few quotes. We are drawn into this material world by desire, but the same desire must be purified and employed in the devotional service of the Lord. Then our disease of wandering in the universe under different forms and conditions will end. Unalloyed love for God means love that is not tinged by desire for material benefit, for mere philosophical understanding, nor for fruit of results. Unalloyed love is to know God is great, I am his part and parcel, and therefore he is my supreme lovable object. Sunya means zero. This is called nirvana. The Buddha philosophy advocates nirvana, no more desire. That is their philosophy. By desire, you are becoming implicated. So make all your desires extinct. Then there will be no more feelings of pain and pleasure, desirelessness. But that is not possible. Desire must be there, because I am living there. Because I am living there, living being, I must have desires. That is the symptoms. So in Bhagavad Gita also we learn that the living and all the living entity can do is desire. So the living entity by nature is full of desires. He can never become desirelessness. No desire. But real desirelessness is to only desire Krishna's pleasure. So desires will definitely be there. Then Prabhupada says, by desire you are creating everything. Why these material varieties? You desire. In the spiritual also varieties. Desire. You want to serve Krishna as his friend. You want to serve Krishna as his lover. You want to serve Krishna as his father, as a servant, or you want to serve Krishna by supplying fruits and flowers, or river Yamuna, everything. Whatever you like, Krishna will give you opportunity in this material world, in the spiritual world. So desires are there. Even in spiritual life, we have different desires of how to serve Krishna. And Krishna will give us opportunity how to fulfill those desires in his service. So Srila Mahaprabhu is instructing us that we want unmotivated devotion. This is all we desire. Ahoituki bhakti. Unmotivated, not tinged by anything material. So what do we understand by unmotivated devotion? Here are a few characteristics of unmotivated devotion. Phala anusandana rahita. It is devoid of the result-seeking mentality. When we talk about undivided, unmotivated pure devotional service, it means it's service devoid of expectation, devoid of the result seeking mentality. Or I will serve Krishna and get ABC. Or I serve Krishna and I want ABC. So that's result seeking mentality. The more we reduce that until zero, the only result we want is inbuilt into the aspect of the activity of devotion. Because devotion, love, means service for the pleasure of the beloved. So that's the only end result we want. Like the gopis. This was all they wanted. Krishna's pleasure, nothing else. Then Chinmaya Swabhava Ashraya. It is fully transcendental and sentient in nature. There is no material tinge to unmotivated devotion. And there is emotion, there is sentiment. Then Krishna Nanda Rupa, it gives pleasure to Shri Krishna. Then Sudha, it is pure. Kevala, it is exclusive to Krishna and Krishna's devotees. Amishra, it is unmixed. And Akinchana, it is free from all material attachments. So it's a very exalted level. And the more we practice, the more we purify our life through chanting, the more we serve the Vaishnavas. In this way, the more we apply ourselves in Krishna consciousness, following the 9 C's or 10 C's, then slowly our devotion will also mature. Just like cultivating a seed, the plant grows and eventually it fructifies into a fruit. So similarly, our devotion will grow. We have to follow nicely, sincerely, diligently, and our devotion will slowly mature with these characteristics. This is the goal. This is what Sri Mahaprabhu is praying for. Unmotivated, uninterrupted, pure devotional service. There is no material arrangement of business. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur describes that different souls render service to Krishna for different reasons. Some may come to serve Krishna out of fear. Oh, if I don't chant Hare Krishna, I'm going to go to hell. Or if I don't chant Hare Krishna, I'm going to suffer. So out of fear, they serve the Lord. Higher than fear is to serve the Lord with some material motivation. Let me serve Krishna and I'll get some reward. So it's still mundane, but at least it's better. Higher than that is to serve the Supreme Lord out of duty. Higher than serving the Supreme Lord out of duty is to serve him with devotion. Higher than serving him with devotion is to serve him with pure, unalloyed, unmotivated devotion. So different gradations of devotion. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur gives a beautiful song in relation to this verse that summarizes the mood and the desires we should have. He says, "O merciful Lord, this is my specific submission at your lotus feet. I do not ask for bodily happiness, knowledge, wealth, followers, attainment of heavenly planets, liberation from material existence, or any other such thing. I do not ask you for any kind of opulence or perfection. In whatever species I may take birth as a consequence of my good and evil deeds, May I continuously chant your sweet names and describe your transcendental qualities. In every birth, may unmotivated devotional service ever remained awakened within my heart. This is my only prayer at your lotus feet. Let whatever attraction I presently have for material sense enjoyment be transformed into attraction and affection pretty at your lotus feet. I pray not only that this affection for your lotus feet remain unwavering in all circumstances of happiness and distress, but the day after day, it continues to grow by the influence of the chanting of your holy names. Wherever I take birth, be it in an animal species, be it in the animal species, in the heavenly planets, or in hell, may unmotivated devotional service ever grace the heart of the servant Bhaktivinoda. So very beautiful summary and prayer which Srila Mahaprabhu is giving in this fourth verse. So this is exactly the mood and the consciousness we need to cultivate. A mood of service, a mood of servant. See, a servant's business is simply to be eager, awaiting for service. If we see Hanuman, we see Lord Hanuman, he's eagerly waiting at the lotus feet of Lord Ram, ready for service. He does not want anything else. Simply the opportunity to serve. We know this past time when Lord Ramachandra came back to Ayodhya with Sita Devi. Hanuman, he would be doing so many services and not giving anybody an opportunity. So Bharat, Shatrughna, Lakshman, they all came to Mother Sita and they started complaining that Hanuman is taking all the services, we have nothing left to do. So they decided maybe we should make a roster. So they thought, good idea. So they all brainstormed the roster. All the different services, waking up the Lord, preparing his boga, arranging all different paraphernalia for his service. From day to night, they made a whole list and they engaged, put everyone's names for the services. And they had everyone's names for service and they left Hanuman out. And then they put the roster on the notice board. So next day, everybody had their service and Hanuman noticed everybody is taking the service. What's happening? So he noticed, went to the notice board there. Oh, notice, see, service roster. Okay. Just went through the list. My name is not here. I don't have any service. That's not good. So he knew, no, this is not good. I have to, they intentionally left my name out for no service. And for Hanuman, service is matter of life and death. So he had to find some service. So Hanuman immediately thought of service. And his service was, we call it chutki. Anytime, so Hanuman, he created the service to make chutki for Lord Ram. Anytime Lord Ram yawns, he needs to make his chutki. So he put that on the list. Chutki service. So immediately Hanuman went to Lord Ram's chamber and was waiting there now, eagerly in front of Lord Ram. Anytime Lord Ram would yawn, he would flick his fingers. So Hanuman was very happy. I got my service. I'm attentive to the Lord's yawning and I got some service. So now it was night time. And Hanuman is not leaving, because nighttime, that's when the Lord yawns the most. So I have to be in present, I have to be in the association and the presence of Lord Ram. So in this way, we see Hanuman's mood and eagerness to serve, simply waiting for the opportunity to serve. And if the Lord gives service, great. If the Lord doesn't give service, we keep chanting his glories. And just as a servant who is serving a glorious master, when the master gives service, the master will always make arrangements or provide the facility and resources required for service. So for us also, if we have firm faith and simply await the service to the Lord, whatever we require for our service, Krishna will make arrangements. There are many pastimes related to desiring. One time, Srila Prabhupada saw a photograph of a yogi with his hands like this. His hands were like this, and there was a photograph. So Prabhupada asked, why is the yogi's hands like that, in front? Another time there was an example of a yogi who put his hands also behind. So same reason. And the devotee said, Prabhupada, when they bring money to him, then he shows, no, I don't want any money. Very detached. And the other yogi, when the money comes to him, his hands go behind and curls behind. And people glorify them. They're very detached. Prabhupada said, you take a photograph of me. When you bring money, I will grab with both hands. So the pure devotee, he'll grab Lakshmi with both hands. Why? Because he understands, just like Hanuman is bringing Lakshmi, Sita Devi, back to Lord Ram. So similarly, the pure devotee like Srila Prabhupada, he will engage all wealth in the service of the Lord. So the yogis, they engage in falgu renunciation, false renunciation. Because you cannot renounce wealth. It doesn't belong to you in the first place. You can't renounce material resources. They don't belong to you in the first place. Prabhupada gives the example like a bank teller. The bank teller is counting money and telling the client, I'm very detached from this money. Yeah, you have to be detached, not your money. Yeah, your detachment means nothing. So real renunciation means using all the resources in the service of Krishna, using everything in this material world for the pleasure of Krishna. Prabhupada gives another example of this old lady. She had a bundle of sticks and she was collecting and putting all these bundles of sticks in Vrindavan. And as she was going home, it was getting dark, she tripped and all the bundles of stick, the whole bundle of stick fell to the ground. So then she started praying, oh Krishna, please, oh help, oh my Lord, please help. So the Lord appeared. And the Lord said, yes, how can I help you? And she said, my Lord, please, can you pick these sticks up and put it on my head? I'm very exhausted, I'm tired. Then Krishna picked up the sticks and put it on the head and she went. Prabhupada said, just see, she had opportunity to ask for anything. Pure devotion, life after life. At least liberation. But no, she asked, please put the sticks back on my head. So we also do not want to ask the holy name for putting sticks on our head. Because the holy name is Krishna. It is Chintamani. It is a touchstone. So when you chanting and you praying for any material desire, it can get fulfilled. So we have to be very careful. Your desires will be fulfilled by chanting the holy names of Krishna. Therefore, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is teaching us what the desires should be. And yes, we definitely can pray, my Lord, you know my heart. I'm a rascal. I got so many bad desires. But I want to desire only pure devotional service. Please help me. So we can pray like that. Another time, there was a young girl. She was given this imitation necklace, pearl necklace. And she became very attached to this imitation pearl necklace. So attached that every day she would wear it, look after it so nicely. And for months, she kept this wonderful imitation pearl necklace as her most important jewelry. One day, she was going past a jewelry shop with her father. And as they were going past a shop, there was a shop that had pearl necklaces, real pearl necklaces. So then she stared, window shopping, she stared at the window, looking at the pearl necklaces, and her eyes fell on one of the necklaces. This was a jeweler that had real jewels, real pearl necklaces. And the father noticed that she was staring at one specific necklace, and he didn't say anything. He said, okay, let's carry on. And then they carried on. So the next year, on the child's birthday, the father went to the daughter and asked the daughter, can you please give me that pearl necklace of yours? And the daughter said, no, Daddy, how can I give you this pearl necklace? It's my pearl necklace. I'm attached to it. I can't give it to you. Okay. And the following year, on the birthday, the father went and asked, please give me your pearl necklace. No, I can't give you a pearl necklace. And this went on for 5, 6, 7, 10 years. Then on the 11th year, the father went on the birthday of the daughter to her room and said, my daughter, do you love me? Yes, Daddy, I love you. You sure you love me? Yes, yes. And will you do anything for me? Yes, yes, I love you. I'll do anything you say. And the father said, please give me that pearl necklace. But Dad, you said you're going to do whatever I say because you love me. And reluctantly, she took that pearl necklace she was so attached to, imitation pearl necklace, and she gave it to the dad. And the dad brought out a beautiful jewelry box, opened it, and in there was the exact genuine pearl necklace that she had spotted her eyes on 10 years ago. And the dad gave her this genuine pearl necklace. Naturally, she was touched and started crying. But then she said, but Dad, when did you get this necklace? And the dad said, 10 years ago. But Dad, why are you only giving it to me now? And the dad said, because you didn't want to give up your imitation necklace. I kept on asking you and you kept on denying. So this is a wonderful story to illustrate how we also are attached to imitation pleasure in this material world. And Krishna wants to give us real spiritual pleasure in the spiritual world. But if we hold on to sense gratification, the reflection, false pleasure, we will not be able to get genuine pleasure. Now, in spiritual life, it does not mean that we do not have pleasure. There is spiritual sense gratification. Eating nice Krishna Prasad. Prabhupada didn't say you should eat, bland prasad. No, Prabhupada said you should eat sumptuous prasad. So the process of Krishna consciousness is wonderful, joyful, and it is a form of sense enjoyment for the senses in relation to giving pleasure to Krishna. Srila Mahaprabhu is saying, I don't want wealth, followers, prestige, fame, women. I only want undivided, unmotivated devotional service, life after life. So Prabhupada had given us that secret also in the meaning to the Hare Krishna mantra. Prabhupada says, in the beginning of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, we first address the internal energy, Krishna Hare. Thus we say, O Radhavani, O Hare, O energy of the Lord. When we address someone in this way, he usually says, yes, what do you want? The answer is, please engage me in your service. This should be our prayer. We should not say, O energy of the Lord, O Krishna, give me money. Please give me a beautiful wife. Please give me many followers. Please give me some prestigious position. Please give me the presidency. These are all material hankerings which should be avoided. So when we're chanting Hare Krishna, in the background, what we're asking for is, O Lord, O energy of the Lord, please engage me in your service. Please engage me in your service. Please engage me in your service. And what type of service? Unmotivated, uninterrupted. Ahoituki. This service will satisfy the soul. Apratihata yatma sukhasaditi, to satisfy the soul. So this should be our prayer. And as Srila Mahaprabhu says, life after life. And as Bhaktivinoda Thakur has shared in his song, doesn't matter whatever our future birth is. We can pray to the Lord, doesn't matter. And it's interesting, they're not asking for liberation. Why? Because pleasure and pain is relative to our consciousness. If we heighten and increase our consciousness to Krishna consciousness, then even the mundane pleasure and pain will not be experienced like mundane pleasure and pain. So for a devotee to even come back, if Krishna so desire, no problem. As long as I'm engaged in devotional service. So in this verse, Srila Mahaprabhu is revealing that the devotee does not want anything for his sense gratification. He doesn't want any results of dharma, artha, kama, moksha, even up to the extent of liberation, because even liberation is sense gratification. Even liberation is for yourself. But pure devotional service is only for Krishna. And whether one go to heaven, whether one goes to hell, whether one is in the material world, whether one is in the spiritual world, it doesn't matter. Because what does one want? Please engage me in your service. So if there's some service in hell, so be it. If there's some service in heaven, so be it. Wherever there is service as a servant, we should be ready to go. So this is the essence of this verse, fourth verse of Siksastakam, that we are not interested in the opulences of this material world for sense gratification, but for the pleasure of Krishna. We want all the opulences to be engaged in the service of Krishna. His Holiness Lokanath Maharaj, during the Srila Prabhupada centennial, because he had collected the 1008 waters from all over India. And Lokanath Maharaj was saying, no, for me, dhanam dehi, janam dehi. He was saying, I want followers, I want money, I want people, So why? Because he wanted all the resources to try to distribute Prabhupada's mercy all over the world. So devotee, like Srila Prabhupada, they praying to Krishna that, my Lord, for your service, we can engage all the resources, all the souls in the whole universe, in every universe. But for my sense gratification, I'm not interested. We see Srila Prabhupada, he had so many temples when Prabhupada was present, so many temples. Even when they were constructing temples, Prabhupada would never draw or focus on his room first. In fact, in some cases, he wouldn't even bother. His room wasn't even there on the plans. The devotees, they had to, they say, Prabhupada, you need to have a nice room, because if the reporters come, where they're going to go, where they're going to meet you, we need to have a nice room. Okay, for that we should have. But otherwise, Prabhupada wasn't interested in any facilities for his sense gratification. Even all the disciples that Prabhupada had initiated, Prabhupada simply saw them as servants of his Guru Maharaj, as servants of Lord Chaitanya, not as his disciples. This was his consciousness. Completely Krishna conscious, completely for the pleasure of Krishna. And following in his footsteps, or following in the footsteps of his spiritual master, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj, who used even a Rolls Royce to go to Vrindavan, used facility. Prabhupada said, if my Guru Maharaj had an aeroplane, he would have flown to every country to preach. So it's not that the Lord is saying no facility, no money, no followers. No, it means nothing for our own sense gratification. But for Krishna, it's Krishna's energies. Let's use as much as Krishna provides. Let us use everything for the pleasure of Krishna. And for ourselves, whatever Krishna gives, the bare minimum, we should engage in Krishna service. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Right, so Mukund's network is bad, no problem. Are there any questions or comments anyone has in relation to today's verse? And while you're typing, next week, Monday is the last day of Kartik. We will not have a program, it will be at the temple. Then on Tuesday, 28, Wednesday, 29, and Thursday, 30th, we will be having the last 3 sessions. And it will be the same Zoom link that you used to join this specific session. So the Zoom link is exactly the same. We're going to be extending the Zoom link. Okay, so this is the same link that we're going to use. And if you're available next week, please join us. We're going to complete on Tuesday, we'll do verse 5. Wednesday, we'll do verse 6. Thursday, we'll do 7 and 8. Right. Nalini Kanta says, thank you for the wonderful classes. Just to hear more and more. Hare Krishna. Just want to hear more and more. Enjoy the last few days of Kartik. Take in all the mercy of the special month. Maligna says, thank you very much. Appreciate the classes. Thank you. Maybe just in the chat, how many of you, because as we're going through these verses, since verse 1, how many of you find that in the morning, when you're starting to chant over the last few days, or even like tomorrow, even today, you found that it definitely helped you in your japa, even if it's a little, in terms of being a little more conscientious about the holy name, appreciating the holy name's mercy, trying to be a little more attentive, Has that helped anyone? Has the have covering the verses, has it helped? Has anybody have that experience? Rasaraj, very much so. Yes. Nalini Kanta, yes, most definitely. Harini says definitely yes. Even I have found that just and it's just associating with these verses, and we see this is the impact. So everyone, most of you are having this experience. Now just consider, we go through all these verses and we then can recap and start to dissect, start to contemplate, pray, really become conscientious about, I want to improve. I don't have the capacity. I'm so attached. I want to improve. Please, Nam Prabhu, please be kind. And the holy name will be merciful. I'll share. Yes, so thank you. Most definitely. Mugun says, true, I've been more conscious. And I think if we continue to practice right way, we can do better. Yes. So we'll see that simply by our inner intention, if we simply desire, we may not even apply. Not that we shouldn't apply, but even if we do not apply, just by starting to have the intention, we get the result. And I'll give you two examples in this regard. One is in the Bhagavatam, in the first canto, Srila Prabhupada in one of the purports say that in Kali Yuga, or rather, let's start, in the previous ages, in Satya Yuga, if you had a negative thought, you would immediately have got a reaction for the negative thought. In Kali Yuga, if you have a negative thought, you do not get the immediate reaction to that thought. But if you think of a positive activity, you get the result of that positive activity. Because Krishna is very kind and merciful in Kali Yuga. Consider, I cannot chant purely. But if I just think that my Lord, my desire is I would love to chant purely, I get the results of chanting purely in Kali Yuga. So that's why we can make advancement just by our intention, not even application. What to talk about if we have the intention and application? The other example is of the Brahmana, the milk and banana, the milk drinking and banana eating Brahmana, who Siksastakam kept in his house. He wanted to see the nocturnal kirtans of Lord Chaitanya. So Siksastakam thought, it's okay, we'll keep him in the house. Because he's so austere, he's qualified, he's only drinking milk and eating bananas. So he kept him in the closet. Srijit Mahaprabhu started having the kirtan. And after a while, Srijit Mahaprabhu felt something's not right here. I'm not experiencing the ecstasy. Someone is here that's not supposed to be here. And Srijit Mahaprabhu asked Srivas, is somebody here that's not supposed to be? And he felt a little bad. He said, yes, my Lord, but my Lord, he's qualified. He's renounced. He only drinks milk and eat bananas. And Srijit Mahaprabhu, immediately, they took him out of the closet. And Srijit Mahaprabhu told this young Brahman boy, get out. You're not qualified. It's not by austerity that one can have my association like this. So as the Brahman boy was leaving out, he was thinking, actually, it's true. By austerity, you can't get the mercy of Krishna. I'm a rascal. I'm a fool. I'm thinking that I'll be able to see the Lord's kirtan. by drinking milk and eating bananas. Actually, I'm a rascal. It is only by the mercy of the Lord that I can. So in this way, he was walking out and thinking like this. And immediately Shri Mahaprabhu said, stop, you're qualified now. So just see, just by his intention, Shri Mahaprabhu became merciful. So we simply have to internally make that shift. And internally, if we make the shift, the Lord will make arrangements and give us the strength to apply through the devotees, through association. So we can achieve the greatest gift that Srila Prabhupada has given us. Bafana says, I was interrupted by internet. Kindly connect me to the 9 categories of criticism and how they fit into the verse in relation of giving up material attachment. There's a huge difference, so much so. The impact has been such that my desire and mind have attracted to the pleasure of the holy name. Gratitude is immeasurable. All right, thank you. So I didn't mention 9 categories of criticism. I did mention 9 C's, unless there is obviously, Bafana Prabhu, you're speaking about different levels of criticism. Maybe you can send me a WhatsApp, and then on Tuesday I can address that. And I will also, the PDFs of all the presentations are also uploaded in the Google Drive, which Mukund posted. So you can also get the notes to recap on the Google Drive. Yes, you were referring to the actual 9 C's. So I'll just quickly go through the 9 C's again, and then we will end. So don't criticize, don't complain, don't be complacent, don't be casual, be compassionate, always chant the holy name, see everything as Krishna's mercy, constant service, and only consume Krishna Prasad. Okay, so these 9 C's are simply in relation to the previous verse of learning from our gurus, the trees and the grass, that they are showing us how to be resilient, consistent, not retaliating, not criticizing, etc., etc. So that's how it relates. Mukund says, so then Prabhu, karma is only by action, right? Not by thought. No. Karma, so karma technically means action and reaction. Now, most people confuse karma to be physical action. That's not true. Any action, gross and subtle. So even a thought is an action. And a thought that is an action will give you a thought that is giving you a corresponding reaction. When you speak, there is action. So if I speak ill words, I'm getting a negative reaction. People speak ill words to me. If I think ill of some people, I'll get a negative reaction. People think ill of me. If I hit someone, they will, in future, somebody will hit me. So every action, mind, body, and words, is an action, including a thought, is actually an action. That's why most people don't even recognize that if I'm thinking negatively, I am actually impacting myself, because it is a force. It's actually an action, not just physically. I will get a subtle reaction, but I will definitely get a reaction. In the previous ages, physical action was giving immediate reaction. Verbal action, immediate. Even a thought action, immediate. There's an example of a sage's wife. She saw a demigod and she had lusty thoughts to the demigod. She didn't engage. She just thought negatively. And the sage cursed her, because now you became impure. Just, the sage could recognize her thoughts, and she got the reaction of illicit connection just by thinking. See? So, and here's another thing, we could extend this. I'm going to last point and we'll stop. When Prabhupada talks about following the four regular principles, it doesn't just mean on the gross level. It also means on the subtle level. No meat eating, no illicit sex, no gambling, no intoxication, even on the mental level, especially illicit sex. So, for example, if I'm watching movies, I'm not breaking the principle physically, but if I'm watching illicit movies, then I'm breaking the principles subtly. And that's going to impact my spiritual practice. Yeah. Good. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you, all the devotees. Thank you for joining us today also. And having Prabhu, thank you for the class this whole week. We'll then look forward to next week again. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki jai.